Hi everyone! So third video review for this week is for my last Ilva arc for April/May, and that is Dare to Love by A.L. Brooks. I'm so excited to be telling you about this. If you want to check out my Goodreads review, I did just post that the other day, so if you're on YouTube there's a link in the description below, and if you're on Facebook or my blog then there's a link within the post, and all the details are there. And this is video review, so Dare to Love by A.L. Brooks. I'm so happy. We have been totally spoiled by A.L. Brooks anyway, because we've literally had two releases so close together, which is why I read all my other Ilva arcs first and then read this one last. And I was like, oh, I really want love like A.L. Brooks portrayed in this book between the characters. Oh my god, it was so beautiful. It's just like the type of love and like relationship that you just dream of. It was so lovely. It's I loved it. I can't stop thinking about it. I loved it so much. It's one of those stories, so it's got Carmen, who is from the Write Your Own Script universe, and so if you've read that you'll know who Carmen is, and if you haven't it won't matter because you'll meet Carmen for good, like in here you'll get a really good introduction to her, but read Write Your Own Script because it's really good as well. So Carmen, she finds herself intrigued by tattooist Ash when she's accompanying her best friend Felicity for her first tattoo, and she sort of feels like she can't get Ash off her mind, and they casually bump into each other a couple of times, and after those sort of bumping into each other's, Carmen can't deny that she sort of feels some sort of attraction to Ash, but she's always dated men, and she worries that she might just be having some sort of midlife crisis like Felicity and wanting to get this tattoo, and she sort of is really hesitant with it, so unable to concentrate at work and unable to deny that she sort of has these feelings for Ash, the desire to spend more time with her after they've had a couple of these evenings out as friends, because she can't get Ash off her mind. Carmen has a really big decision to make, and Ash is wary of kind of falling for another straight woman, because although she also is quite attracted to Carmen and was when she first met her, and has the same sort of issue, she can't get her out of her head, she just really can't afford to be repeating history, and together they kind of have to work through their hang-ups and worries and past experiences and all that doubt, if they want happiness, which they are really sure that they'll find together, but then there's a lot of uncertainty for them both in making that commitment. So this is totally amazing. Like I have withdrawal symptoms the second I put the book down. I put it down and I messaged Mira, and I was like, because she's read it, and I was like, oh my god, I was like, I'm having withdrawal symptoms, I've literally only just put it down and I need to pick it back up. And she totally agreed with me, and that's what I love, like that you can talk about these things. And I was like, oh, I just didn't want it to end. I really didn't want it to end, and I hadn't had enough of the slow burn perfection that was Carmen and Ash. Like, oh, it was so good. Like, even if you think that slow burn is too slow, like oh my god, it was so worth it waiting for these two to figure themselves out. And you know this means I am praying that there will be more for them in future, because I have not had enough yet. Like, I need more. I need so much more. Sheer perfection. It's the only way I can describe this. I was like, the book literally was in front of me for hours, and I was reading, and I'd read so much of it, and I was having to remember to stop to write down a reading update for you guys, and I was just like, oh my god, I got so lost in it. And then, like, Carmen, she's just... she's like I say, she's a character we first met in Write Your Own Script, and we literally had like a little glimpse at her, and we didn't know what she was gonna be in like the wider world of things. And then A.L. Brooks decided to give her own story, which she totally deserved, and naturally there was some crossover in the universe as well because of that. So that just added to my love of this story, because Tamsin and Maggie were back. I mean, Tamsin and Maggie, I was so happy. I was like, oh my god, I'm like properly fangirling over it. I love this like universe, and this, like, I'm going to call it a series now because they go together. They're just paired together and they look lovely. And I'm just like, oh, I'm so excited. But then, you know, here you come with Carmen and Ash, and I'm like totally speechless. Like, I love Tamsin and Maggie, but like, move over. Like, Carmen and Ash, like, oh my god. And the connection and the love you can only dream to find is what they have. I mean, it's amazing. That chemistry, just amazing. I was literally a complete emotional wreck after reading this, because I was just so happy. Like, I was crying happy tears. I was just like, it's one of those I've just finished Pick It Up, Start Again books. You will be drawn back to this book so many times, I'm pretty sure of it, and I know I will. It's one of those books that I wish I had so much more time to just go back and read again. I've got so many things to read, but it will be one of those books that in future I go to, like a go-to book. It just made me so happy, and I just can't get enough of it. The whole story, the characters, everything easily makes this one of my favourite A.L. Brooks books. And I just like, because you can't have a favourite of hers, they're all so good. Like, she writes a new one and I'm like, it's amazing, and then she writes a new one and I'm like, it's amazing, and it's like trying to ask me to pick my favourite. Like, I can't pick a favourite, but this for now is like my new favourite, and I just love it. They get better and better each story, but my soul is happy because Carmen and Ash had insecurities, vulnerabilities, and all sorts of things that made them just such beautiful characters. You could really relate to them. You were on such a roller coaster with them, and watching them fall in love was just the most beautifully romantic thing ever. It was so cute. And like, I think what was really important for me in this story, and I think what I really need to point out, that both in the main plot, and there was a smaller subplot as well, which focused on coming out. And you can experience feelings for another person, unexplained or whatever, and you can feel very different at any point in your life. And the important message that A.L. Brooks put in here, whether young or old, you'll be supported if you discover that you find yourself on a journey to discovering something about yourself that you're not quite sure of, or you are going to find quite scary. But no matter what, you know, it will be okay. There are people there to support you through that. So if you're young or old, I mean, that's the whole beauty of this. You've got that subplot with Ash's niece, and then, so obviously as a teenager discovering a whole load of feelings, and then you've got Carmen as midlife, you know, finding herself swept off her feet by this woman that she just does not understand what's happened, but she knows it's true. Like, she knows, she can feel it. She doesn't quite know how she's going to, how to handle everything, and so she has a lot of support, which is lovely. I mean, that's what Tamsin and Maggie are there for, support, because let's face it, they've had the same sort of experience, and it's just a lovely message to put in there that you can be extremely brave, and Carmen was extremely brave in confronting her feelings and dealing with them at a later stage in her life. And so therefore it's never too late to, if you decide that you want to be a part of this community, or if you suddenly want to discover these feelings and thoughts about things, it's okay to explore that, and it's okay to ask questions, and it's okay to be yourself. And I think that was a really lovely message. You really don't have to suppress any feelings that you truly feel, no matter what they are. That was lovely, absolutely lovely message in there, and it was just made a truly beautiful and most wonderful romance, and I highly recommend it because I'm completely in love with it, and I really hope you'll go and check it out. So I'll pop a link in the description so you can go and grab a copy of Dare to Love by A.L. Brooks, which I really hope you will. If you've read Dare to Love by A.L. Brooks, please get in touch, please comment below, please let me know what you thought of it, how did you find the story, and if you haven't read it yet but you're planning to read it, or you're really interested in reading it, again, comment below, because it's great to hear what you've got on your reading list and what you're planning to read. And if you do read it, I really hope you love it, because it's so good, and I hope you have a wonderful time reading it. Bye!